big bass. Oh yeah.
Welcome to Journey of the Outdoors. Now here's Dave.
Okay, so at this point we have trimmed up our roast here, and this is a sirloin backstrap. It's a pretty nice cut. It's the leanest of all cuts that you can get, and this is a venison, so we're going to use that today. I'm going to go ahead and put on my rub, my dry rub, so I can go ahead and let that marinate and get the grill ready, and also go ahead and let the wood chips soak. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on. I have a mixture here of some cayenne pepper, some paprika. It's got a little bit of oregano, also some white pepper, ground cardamom. So it's got a little bit of flavor going on there, and some red pepper flakes in there too. So just gonna make sure that's set in really good, and then turn it over, and we're gonna dry rub the other side too. And this is gonna put a whole bunch of flavor right on this. I'm gonna use all of this seasoning, make sure it's really good and coated, and this is gonna give us a nice crispy crust on the outside. And we're just about ready to hit the grill. As I was saying though, just a second ago, you want to make sure that you get all of your white cap and sinew off the top. Usually you'll see like little pieces of sinew like that. It'll be like a white, stringy looking type of sinew on top of the meat. You want to cut that off and make sure you get all of it off. And I've already done that here. So I'm just going to make sure I get all of my flavor into that meat, get all of my seasoning on that. I don't want to waste any of that. So now I'm going to go ahead and put this in a Ziploc bag. I'm going to put that in the fridge for about maybe 30 minutes. The method we're going to be using today is a low and slow type. So that means that I'm going to keep the temperature very low, and I'm going to cook it very slow, meaning a bunch of hours, probably 3 to 4 right now, because this is a sirloin, a backstrap, so it's really tender. It'll take very little time for it to cook. So, but I want to cook it very slow. So that point is to keep the temperature very low. That's going to be involved with using a thermometer. Okay, I have a thermometer that's going to monitor the temperature. I'm going to keep it within 225 to 250. I'll put that on there when I get started here. But also the other part is, if you're using a relatively big grill, you want to keep your briquettes to one side. So you'll have a hot side, a medium side, and then a cool side. So if your meat gets to cooking too quickly, you can move it over. And get it away from the fire, so you can keep it in that temperature that you want to cook in. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started. And I always like to use my bills for a great reason. That's to start my fires. Works out for me. The next step is to burn it until your charcoals get white. You want to make sure to oil your grill too. Okay, our grill is ready. We're going to go ahead and put our wood chips on. Gonna spread these out just a little bit, just a little, and put those wood chips on. Now the thing is you want to make sure that your wood chips are barkless, like that. If you get a piece in there that has bark in it, toss that out. You don't want that in there. Bark is going to give you a bitter smoke and not the smoke that you want. The smoke flavor that people have come to know. So now in about 10 to 15 minutes, these are going to start smoking really good. You want them to smolder and not burn. That's the point of of barbecuing with wood chips. You want them to smolder and not burn. And you can see they're starting to smoke up there. You can see the blue. But I'm gonna go ahead and put my meat right on the grill. For starters, I'm gonna keep it pretty far away, and then I'll move it closer as I see fit. If I see that it's taking its time, I'll just leave it there. Right now, I'm not getting too much of a temperature. It's coming close to 100, so it's gonna creep up there, and then it'll be ready. Okay, so at this point, it's been about an hour, hour and a half, and it's still smoking pretty good. That's a good sign. It's starting to come down just a little bit, but I'm gonna check it here and see how it's going. Oh man, look at that. Alright, so I've lost about half my wood there. I'll get some more wood chips soaking, so I have about another 30 minutes or so on those, and then they'll start to excuse me, kind of smolder off there, so they'll be gone. But the meat is looking pretty good. It's still got a little bit of a bend to it, so it's probably got another hour and a half. I'll give it about another hour and a half. It should be good, but it's still a little bit, it's not totally tender yet, but the temperature is getting up a little bit. It's getting up there a little bit, about 300, so it's closing in a little bit, so I'll go ahead and close it down, and she should come down a few degrees just after leaving it open for a second or two, so should be fine. But we're status quo. So our wood chips are done soaking. You can see it started to rain a little bit here. Kind of a perfect day. But and you can see it stopped smoking now, so that means that those wood chips are finally done rendering their smoke. So I'm just gonna go ahead and perfect time, and I was gonna throw some more on. Throw some more on there. So about another 10 minutes or so, and it'll start smoking again. I can see my temperature is back down to 250. That's working great. That's exactly what I wanted. But we're about ready now. Have about another half an hour to an hour, and it should be good. Okay, now this should be done, and we're gonna take our nice roast off now. And now that it's done, we're gonna just cover it up with some foil loosely, so we don't let the crust get moist at all, but let it come to a rest about 15 minutes. And we're gonna whip up some sides while that's resting. I have some cashew butter here, and I'm gonna put in a little bit of garlic. We're gonna make some mashed potatoes here. I'm just gonna give that garlic just a second to really heat up. And then we're gonna put in some cashew butter. And that's going to really make these mashed potatoes pop. It's gonna give it an earthy taste. It's really nice with the garlic. Just gonna give that a second. And now we're gonna add some milk. That's gonna add that, let that garlic just really come to a nice aroma. And about a pinch of white pepper, some cilantro, Okay. Then last, some parsley. And if you want to, if you have a little bit more time, you can go with a boil and homemade mashed potatoes. But today we're going to use box. And I'm going to add a little bit more of the milk there. Loosen it up just a little bit. Really give that butter a chance to break down, and it's gonna be perfect. All right, let's plate this up. We're about ready to carve this up. So we're going to go ahead and bring our meat here. I'm gonna start out here just in the middle, and I get a nice big chunk there. Nice big slab there. And as I can see, this is perfectly pink in the inside. That comes from a nice smoke ring. And it's perfectly just about medium rare. And it's so tender. All right, so let's plate this up. Okay, so here we have our potatoes. We're going to add some of our so beautiful and juicy tenderloin backstrap steak. And I have a perfect finish to that. With just a little bit of a sprig of some thyme. Well, here we have it, a finished meal. Oh man, it looks delicious. You know, I really want you guys to try this out and try making this, because if I can do it, you can do it. But I'm sure that your family will love it just as much. I'm just gonna tear into this a little bit. Oh man, that's just delicious. And then pair with the potatoes. It's delicious. That cashew just really complements it. But you know, if you guys really just put in a little bit of time, for every pound that you put in your refrigerator, coming from that beautiful harvest that you work so hard for, whether it be by archery or by gun, pay it a homage. You know, really you should. That deer deserves to be cherished. Well, till next time. Till the next time we meet in my kitchen, enjoy your harvest.